We are back live here with Talia Wolf in Green Room 11 at this moment. Hi, Talia. How are you doing?
I'm great. I'm great. I'm excited to be doing this tonight. Well, it is my tonight, at least.
It's I too. I mean, yeah, in Europe. We just for the people that don't know you, Talia is the founder of Get Uplift, and her and her team are providing conversion optimization services for high growth companies that are using customer centric models, emotional targeting strategies, and data driven analysis. So Talia is very known in the CRO world. She has been invited actually to teach conversion optimizations on hundreds of stages such as Google, Call to Action Conference, Search Lab, and many more. And she was recently announced to be one of the most influential experts in conversion rate optimization. So I'm so happy to have you. And thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today. I'm gonna let you take the stage. I'm gonna go in that little look. Derek is saying you're amazing. Yes, she is.
Thank you.
I'm gonna take the stage, and I'll see you in 20 minutes in QA. So thank
All
you.
right. I'm going to share my screen. Um, and hopefully, let's click to close this message. All right. I think everything's working now. Hopefully. Okay. So today we're going to be talking about why people aren't into your funnel. And essentially, we're going to be talking about funnel mistakes that people make. So perhaps you are joining us today because you have an existing funnel that you want to optimize, or maybe you're thinking about creating a new funnel for the holidays. So today I'm going to put a lot of focus on funnels during the holidays, but everything I talk about today is really relevant to the to all year round, to be honest. I guess that is what I'm trying to say. Let me just check something because I can see there's an issue coming up with my screen. All right. Okay, should be okay now. Thank you. Sorry. So when I got started with creating funnels, I made all sorts of mistakes, and I have actually since then I have created hundreds of funnels. I've run thousands of A/B tests, and today I really want to talk about the biggest, most boldest mistakes that I see within funnels. And when I talk about a funnel, generally a funnel can have 5 steps, it could have 50 steps in it, but I'm usually talking about a 4-step funnel that is one of the most common funnels, and also one that I use a ton with my business. So this funnel is essentially built out of 4 steps. Step number 1, it's the ad, the Facebook ad. Step number 2 is the landing page where we send people to, which is essentially the most important part of the funnel. Then we have step number 3, which is the thank you page, which is probably the most underrated part of a funnel and has so much potential. And I'm going to talk to you about it a lot today. And then lastly, we have the first email that you send to someone. Now, as I mentioned today, I'm going to focus a lot on the holiday season because it's right around the corner. And I want to talk to you about some possible mistakes that you may be making. And I've got to be honest with you, most of the companies and most of the funnels that I've seen are making these mistakes. And I want to say that with a little bit of attention and with some, I guess, if you want to actually optimize them and change them, you can do it. And I think it would be a great way to get started. Okay, so let's talk about why people aren't in to your funnel. Many times I think when optimization, it feels like a guessing game, right? You're not really sure, you're not exactly sure what's working, what's not, why and how. Sometimes we don't know what copy we need to have on a funnel. We don't know what images we should be using. We don't know if we do have a funnel that's live, what's not working. Is it the ad? Is it the thank you page? Is it the landing page? What isn't converting? And if we do know that there's a problem with the landing page, we don't necessarily know what's wrong with it. So what I've done is I've divided these mistakes according to each step of the funnel. And we're going to start with the ad. Okay, so problem number 1, your ad isn't connected to your prospect stage in the customer journey. So starting out, we're going to talk about top of the funnel stuff, the ads themselves. People go through several stages of awareness within the customer journey before converting. And most times I've seen that the ads in a funnel aren't connected to the right stage. So I want to give you a quick breakdown. We're not going to get too much into this today because I want to give you as much as actionable stuff as I can. But here's a quick breakdown of the 5 different stages that people go through in a customer journey. Stage number 1 is unaware. These are people who are completely unaware that they have a problem, that something isn't working for them. And they go about their everyday thinking, I lead my life really well, everything's great. When your prospect is unaware, and this happens a lot with new startups that are trying to kind of create a new groundbreaking technology, then what your entire job with your Facebook ad is to actually highlight that pain, is to tell people that whatever they're doing right now, they're doing it incorrectly, or to tell them that something in their life is painful. A good example that I like to use a lot is how in the past, we used to go to the street if we wanted a cab, and we'd go to the road and we'd stand out with our hand trying to get a cab, and hopefully someone would stop for us. Then came someone and said, oh, I will create an app for that. No one, I mean, they just said, oh, I'll create an app for that. So someone who needs a cab can just call them or hit a button and it will know where you are and it will send you a cab. But most people were unaware that they needed a solution for this problem. So all they had to do was just tell people that trying to get a cab these days is a problem. So most people, the first stage in the 5 stages of awareness is unaware. Then we have pain aware. Pain aware people are people who are aware that something isn't working, something's broken, something is annoying them, something is challenging to them, but they don't know that there is a solution out there. So maybe they do know that trying to catch a cab in the street is annoying, but they're not necessarily doing anything about it because that's the way life goes. Next, we have solution aware people. Solution aware people are people who are actively searching for a solution for their problem. So for example, if you are a distributed team like today during COVID, and people are all over the world and you're trying to communicate with each other and you're having a breakdown with the communication between teams in different time zones, then if you're pain aware, then maybe you just know that it's annoying to communicate with people in the US and people in Europe. But if you're solution aware, you're actively trying to think of ways to solve that. Should I hire someone to help me with that? Should I create my own product? Should I use a tool like Trello, or should I be using a tool like Asana? Should I actually not solve this? Is there an agency I can hire? This is solution aware. People who are actively reading articles, watching workshops, reading books about their pain and trying to figure out solutions that can help them. Then we have product aware people who are actively comparing you with your competitor, meaning they know you and now they're trying to figure out if you are the right person or the right company or the right product that's going to help them solve this issue. This is actually the first time you would mention your product and its features and its pricing within an ad. So if you know that your prospects are product aware, they know about you, they understand who you are, and they're actively trying to figure out if they should choose you or your competitor, that's when you start talking about your pricing and your features. Lastly, we have most aware, and these are the people who are ready to convert. Now, if your ad isn't connected to your prospect stage in the customer journey, you might be actually promising something to them that they don't even know they need yet, which means that for them, you're offering something they don't need. You're in their way, you're blocking their feed on Facebook, they're trying to scroll, they're trying to find cat pictures and videos and GIFs, and you're in their way. Now, that also means that if your ad isn't connected to your prospect's stage in the customer journey, that if they don't know that they need a solution, then you're definitely using words and design and copy that don't resonate with your prospects and will not move them into action, which actually results in alienating potential buyers. Because maybe if you use the right words in the right time with the right design, you could have turned them into be customers of yours or clients of yours. But because you're using the wrong words and the copy and the stories and the wrong emotions, then you're losing them. And I want to show you an example. A while ago, I was on Facebook and I saw this ad. And when I saw this ad, I had no idea who this company is. I had no idea what they were selling. I had no idea what they wanted from me. And being the optimizer that I am, I tried to figure out what this is about. What am I even looking at here? And it turns out that this company is a software company that actually helps you create animations for your website. But I had no idea that this is what they were this is what they were selling. And I didn't know that I needed animation videos for my website. And what this means is that many other people they're targeting, like me, don't know them and aren't even aware that they have a problem with the videos on their website that they're maybe using, or the non-existing videos like me on their website. But this company over here is coming at me with pricing and features and deals and offers that just aren't relevant. This ad isn't going to work on me because I first need to understand why my current solution isn't working for me before they actually pitch 75% off. And this is why your funnel exists, because you start the journey off in the ad by explaining the pain. And then next, in the next step of the funnel, usually the landing page, that is where you start addressing the different solutions that you have. And you could actually mention the price or any deals that you have, but not always. It just depends on where you are. But to make this ad work, they should have told me why not having a video on my website is killing my conversions. And then maybe I would think about the pricing. Now, this isn't to say that all ads need to create the same type of ad, or that you can't sell to people who don't know you, or people that are just solution aware or pain aware. You can, but you need to adapt your messaging. Actually, Michael Hyatt does this in a perfect way. Never heard of him, never seen his products, but he does have an ad here where in his ad for his planner, which he's selling, he explains at the beginning of the ad his struggles and why he designed this planner and what he went through. And he explains the value and the benefit and invites you then to purchase the planner. So what he does is he meets people in their timelines with the message that will make sense to them. So he then sends them to the landing page, which tells them to buy the planner. So he starts with the pain and then he introduces the solution. Now, when the holiday season starts, in order to target new people who don't know him, he could run a similar ad and include the promo on his landing page and the ad. He could talk about the holidays there. So here's an example of a holiday ad that does a good job touching on the pain, which is actually gaining weight during the holidays, and then introducing their offer. So this company says, skip the fat, not the flavor, this holiday season. In one sentence, they introduce the pain. We all know that during the holidays, we gain a little bit of weight. So this company says, let's skip that pain and just focus on the offers that we have and what we have to offer. So to fix this problem that so many businesses have and make, what you need to do is make sure that when you're creating your ads, you're actually identifying what the stage of the customer journey your prospects are. You need to make sure that you're creating ads that speak to that specific stage. And you want to ask yourself, is the promise that I'm making relevant to the people that I'm targeting for the stage that they're at? And do the visuals, copies, and stories that I'm using in my ads actually resonate with that stage? By the way, a quick way to know the stage of awareness of people is by simply looking at the keywords that people are using to arrive on your website. If they're using their brand, they're most likely to be product aware. But if they're searching for a problem or a pain, then they're most likely to be solution aware. Okay, let's move on to the second part of the funnel, which is the most important part of the funnel, and that is the landing page. So problem number 2, your landing page isn't inspiring action. Hands down, the landing page is the most important part of your funnel, and it's where people truly connect with you for the first time and make a decision. Usually this happens within 3 seconds. They will decide if they're going to give you a second chance or not. Now, let's start with the two top reasons that your landing page may not be inspiring action. Problem number one, your landing page isn't solving a problem. This is a mistake I believe over 90% of businesses are making. You don't want to just create a landing page. You want to create a landing page that solves problems for your users. You don't need a general landing page that captures lots of irrelevant people. You need a landing page that solves your prospects' problems. Now, to solve your prospects' problems, you need to understand the ins and outs of your audience's intent, the challenges that they're dealing with, and their desired outcomes. Without this, you're just randomly throwing words on the page, sounding like everyone else, and you'll get drowned in the sea of sameness. Simply put, if you do not know your prospects' problems, you're almost never going to persuade them to take action. And I want to show you an example. Here's a company that says on-demand groceries, delivery or collection within 2 hours, picked with care by our store, shop without leaving the house. So general message, we do on-demand groceries. This is one option of a company that does e-commerce. They actually sell produce. And here's another company called Jupiter. Groceries done in just 5 minutes. Grocery automation for busy households. We take care of the shopping, delivery, and even meal planning. Autopilot learns from your habits, plans your orders, and helps you figure out what's for dinner. Save 9+ hours monthly and put groceries on autopilot. The difference is super, super clear. This website is just telling you what they do. This landing page is solving a problem. So ask yourself, what are your prospects' biggest concerns before taking action on a page for the holidays? And just a reminder that to solve your prospect's problem, there's so many ways you can do that. So here are a few things that could be an issue for problems that could happen during the holidays. Choosing the right gift for your loved one. How do you know what to do? So you could use a quiz. Or shipping times. How long will it actually take? Because we want to make sure that people that are whatever we buy is going to come there at the right time. And of course, shipping costs. So people want to know these things. Are you making it about them? Are you solving these solutions on the page? Now, as I mentioned before, you don't have to do a complete redesign. You can just adjust the copy. In fact, working with Social Media Marketing World last year, we helped them sell tickets for their event. And you can see here that this landing page is essentially a blog post. It's not the regular landing page that you would see anywhere else. And what's really interesting is that when we did our research, we realized that what was missing in here was the problem that they were solving. So rather than do a redesign, what we did for this page is actually add more copy. We spoke about the problem that these people were facing. We spoke about their challenges and their pain, and we managed to get a 41% uplift in signups and 15% increase in sales and revenues for the conference. So people are using the internet to solve their problems, whether if it's to find answers for questions and inspiration, a quick recipe, or a service provider. And you need to make sure that you're doing that. So does your landing page solve their problem, or is it making another mistake, which is your landing page is about you and not your prospects? So most time when I ask people, why do they think that companies buy from them? They give me answers like, we have great features, we have the best pricing, we have the best technology or the solution, and so on. And this is very, very focused on the features, the pricing, and the company itself. Essentially, me, 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 me. So for example, this company says the world's first productivity drink, or the smartest way to check your properties. Everything that we see online these days is about the company. But the thing is that people don't buy products. We don't buy features, and we don't buy pricing. We buy better versions of ourselves. People have to see themselves in there, and they have to understand what their value is. Not the product, not the t-shirt, but the self-esteem that they get. And here's an example. Who would you rather buy from? The person that says 10% off the #1 rated mattress in the US, or the company that says, hooray, 1 more hour of sleep. Our favorite day of the year is here. Celebrate daylight saving with us. Grab 10% off. So here, it's about it's about them. They get 1 more hour of sleep. You celebrate them. What message are you more likely to convert to? Who are you more likely to buy from? So in order to create a landing page that converts, you've got to make it about the customer, her pains, and her desired outcomes. So do your research. Before creating a landing page, make sure that you're going to where your prospects are at. You're looking at their challenges, their concerns. You're looking in Facebook groups and forums, on articles, on Reddit and Pinterest, in all the social platforms, and understanding what their real problems are. People are more likely to connect with you if you explain that you are going to solve their problem, and when you make it about them. Now, again, make it about the customer, highlight their value, their outcomes, and take the conversation away from you. Make it about them and tell them what they need to do. Provide clarity. What one action must your prospect take to receive the value that they're actually looking for? So now that we've covered the ad and the landing page, let's talk about the most underrated part of the funnel, and that is the thank you page. Now, most times when people convert on a landing page, it usually ends with some sort of message like this, a small pop-up telling you to go and check out your email. But here's the thing though, if you're doing one of these, if you're using a pop-up or just a message that says, hey, go check out the email, then you're missing out on a huge opportunity, because the thank you page is actually a crucial part in your funnel, and it has two goals. Number one, it's based on a psychological trigger called choice supportive bias, which is we want to feel good about the actions that we're taking. So you want to make prospects feel confident in the action that they just took. And you want to ask them to take another action, because this is called the foot in the door technique, which is another psychological trigger that once we've taken one small step, we're far more likely to actually take another. And there's so many things that you can ask for to increase your conversions on the thank you page. You could ask them to answer a survey. You could ask them to share their action they just took. You could ask them to leave a review, to add more details about themselves, to read more about you. You could even upsell them. And here's the thing, when we did this for one of our clients, we actually increased their sales by 30% just by asking more questions on the thank you page. So once you're done creating your landing page, don't stop there. Make sure that you are creating a thank you page, that you're asking them to take one action, and that you're rewarding them for taking the action. So for example, you could invite them to download a free guide. You could give them a checklist. You could give them a tutorial. You want to give them real value, and you want to give them clarity on what's coming up next, what to expect from you, which actually brings me to the last part of the funnel, and that is the email. So problem number 4 is that probably your email isn't delivering on your promise. Now, I don't know how you feel about email, but I have to say to you that over 82% of businesses say that email marketing is the most effective channel for them of turning prospects into customers, especially during the holiday season. Email is also the most reliable channel that you can have as a marketer. So that's why my favorite marketing channel is actually email. But the problem with that is that usually many companies and many people get thousands of emails, especially during the holiday. So how do you make sure that you stand out? So there's 2 problems that you might have with your emails. Number 1, maybe you're not delivering on your promise. You see, when someone decides to sign up to your email list, to start a free trial, to buy a product from you, it's as if they're making an initial statement to themselves and they're saying, I believe that this business can solve my problem. They're going to help me achieve something. I'm not going to put up with this anymore. I've chosen to take action. And this is why it's so important for you to continue that conversation in the email. If you go off and immediately start talking about yourself, your pricing, your features, and how cool you are, you're going to lose them. You need to make the first email about them. For example, you could create a shopping list for them with links back to your products, just explaining the things that they could do. Or you could give them a gift quiz that would allow them, or you could give them all the information that they need in order to make the right decisions for the holiday. Now, by the way, a holiday email doesn't have to be all designed and beautiful and start creating quizzes. Actually, one of my best performing emails during Black Friday was the one when I shared a video call of myself with my grandparents. I had a very special deal going on for one of the courses that I just opened up for enrollment, and I took a screenshot of a call with my grandparents who were telling me not to believe all of those fake Black Friday deals. And all I did is explain how they were fearful of Black Friday deals and how actually the deal that I'm offering isn't fake and how amazing it is. And here's what people are saying about it. And for example, someone was saying, wow, I can't believe you're actually using that price. So it's just about using the right copy and reflecting it back to people. Emails can be as long as they need to be to tell the story that resonates with people. So all you need to do is to form that connection and to solve someone's people. So ask yourself, what was the motivation behind the action? Why did they sign up? How can I reflect that back to them and add more meaning to that action? And what are the next steps you should take to achieve this outcome? So in order to fix your emails, make sure that you are delivering on your promise, whatever it is. Even if they signed up for a lead magnet, send them that lead magnet again in the email, even if you gave it to them on the thank you page. Reiterate the problem to them, what it is that they're suffering from, that they're challenged with, that they're annoyed about, that's paining them, and how you're going to solve it for them, and why you're the right company or person to do that for them, and tell them what to do next. Okay, let's recap. So we talked today about the 4-step funnel: the Facebook, the landing page, the thank you page, and the email. So I want you to focus on solving your customer's pain. I want you to focus on driving value for them, to continue the relationship beyond the landing page and make it about them. When you're thinking about your holiday season campaign, consider the entire funnel and not just the landing page, and make sure that you're always making it about your customers. Okay, I think that's it for me. Hopefully, I made the time frame. And we're speaking really quickly, guys, because
Thank you so much. It was
we don't.
hot. I got cozy up in here with my hoodie because trying to I started our Eastern European heaters, and it takes some time. You can go shopping, you can do everything, and then the heat is gonna come. Thank you for the awesome session, Talia. This was really important, and it taps into all the decisions usually made in the conference room and not by having conversations with actual customers. And then you end up in the position of not knowing exactly how to uh, uh, I'm really laughing at the chat session. Yeah, it's hard when all the decisions are taken in the conference room. That's the biggest thing, and it's people sleep on the power of qualitative research, and they just go up about testing, and then they're expecting miracles, but the miracles never come because you cannot do anything like that. And if you trick a few people to purchase, they will not come back and purchase from you again. So I have
That's
a
true.
very interesting question for you from Jenny. I think it came over via Facebook or LinkedIn, and she said, "Hi Talia, I'm not sure how to start optimizing my product pages. What are some things I could do with a limited budget?"
It's funny that you asked this, because I actually think that one of the most important things that you can do for your product pages is work on your product description. So I've actually seen a lot of data now showing that not the reviews are no longer the most important part in trust, but actually forming a connection through your product description has a huge impact. I wrote an article about this a while ago, where just by simply putting some more emphasis on your product descriptions and making them more relatable, and not just, hey, here's the product, here's what it includes, and here's how much it costs, but actually creating a story and explaining how it's relevant and what they can do with it and how it's going to solve their problem, is actually a great way to go about it. And of course, feature reviews and anything that you can. But I think the product description would be a great place to start.
Okay, that's true, because most people, I mean, I think it has to do with the maturity of the business that you have, because in the beginning you're very product centric, so you're just chasing, to showcase the features and the benefits instead of showcasing the solution that the product gives you. It's like the emotion behind purchasing that product. That Thank you for that. I have another question from Derek, and he is asking me how to leverage our customer data in testing to increase customer lifetime value.
Okay, that's a very broad question, but generally, um, how can you leverage the data? I mean, at the end of the day, what you want to do is make informed decisions, and you want to come with hypotheses in order to optimize your entire funnel. So what you want to focus on are the different problems that people are facing throughout the funnel. So with data, and I'm talking about quantitative data, you can identify where the problems are within your funnel, and then you can use that in order to dig further into qualitative data. So for me, the best way to increase lifetime value is to focus on voice of customer and to get to know the person behind the screen beyond the geographical location, browser, and the age, and to really locate, using the data to locate where the problem is, but using qualitative research like surveys and interviews and polls and review mining in order to really understand who the person is, and then you can reflect that back to them in their copy, and you can really create something for them that would convert them.
That's true. Thank you for that. I have another question.
Yeah.
uh, I have this question from Chris Arizawa. I hope I said the name right. And she is asking, do you have ads for every stage of the awareness stages? For example, ad for unaware, or ad for pain aware, or ad for solution aware. Like basically, are you tapping in all those points in the journey?
That's a great question. I think it really depends on where you see ROI and who your best target audience is. For many companies, they don't have the option to target product aware people. So you start with the unaware or the pain aware people, and you can create an ad for every single stage of the journey. And I think that for me, that's always been key, because everything that I do, whether if it's an ad or even a landing page or even a thank you page, I will build in starting from where a person is in that stage of awareness. So I know where to start. Should I start with the pain, or should I start with the product, or should I start with the story, or should I start with the agitation? So within the ads, it just depends on what the best return on investment is, but and then who your prospects are. Sometimes you don't really have the luxury of being able to say, oh, I want to target product aware or most aware people. But you can do retargeting and you can do remarketing using that by understanding the stage of awareness. So I really do think that it's just about identifying who your best ROI is from, and then creating the ad according to that person and to that stage of awareness.
Okay, thank you for that. Another question, and it's, how can you monitor all this data in a tidy manner and make sure that you take your customers' problems and opinions into consideration when creating your strategy?
It's a great question. Today I didn't get into much strategy at all. What we like to do is conduct very wide qualitative analysis, which means, as I mentioned before, surveys and interviews, and we do review mining and competitor analysis and SWOT, and we do a lot of different types of research. And the reason this works is because we're also comparing it to the quantitative data, and we're looking for different repeating themes within the research. And what we're doing is we're coming up with hypotheses, and what we want to see is the same thing repeating itself throughout the entire research. And then we'll test it, and we'll come up with the results, and we'll see if this works or if it doesn't work. So it's all about trying to solve a specific problem of someone by answering these questions of who is the customer, what are their biggest fears, what are their biggest pains, how do they want to feel after they found a solution, and then being able to answer that with your tests. So the way to I believe that it's actually far easier to monitor these type of tests when you're doing these kind of tests versus just button tests, if that makes sense.
Okay, perfect. And the last question, we have been interrogating you, and it's a broader question, and it goes like this: how do you convince companies that CRO is something worth doing?
Oh my gosh, I have a 45-minute presentation about that, so that's going to be hard to answer in 2 minutes. But my go-to is always about proving out ROI. So there's a few different notes that you can hit there. But for me, if someone was coming up to me and saying, I want to do conversion optimization, I would focus on explaining the opportunity that we have. And I think that by showing, hey, here are our results, and here's what I think we can be doing, is a great way to start. Another thing that normally helps is by showing how larger companies are doing testing. It's by showing what the competitors are doing in terms of experiments. And it's also by showing how much resources and how much money you're actually spending right now by not running these experiments, and how much you could be saving if you weren't just doing it on hunches and just like because you think it's the right thing versus actually doing it on data. So at the end of the day, what you want to do is constantly go back to the fact that at the end of the day, you're going to be saving them money.
That's true. Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you guys for watching this session and for the amazing questions. Talia, you were stunning as always. And I appreciate everyone for their time. I'm gonna let you go into the next session with Marty Grief from SiteTuners, and I'll see y'all later. Thank you, Talia. I appreciate this. See
Thank
you soon.
you.
Bye.